Hello everyone, welcome to another one of our videos in our series about exposing the World Mission Society Church of God. We hope that these videos will encourage you and equip you and edify you as well. So the World Mission Society Church of God believes that the bride of Christ, which born-again Christians also believe in, is God the Mother. But the difference is that born-again Christians believe that the bride of Christ is the church, believers. And what is the biblical evidence for this? Well, very simply, if we go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11, we'll go verses 1 through 3. It's very important to always read verses in context. Cults often don't like to read verses in context, but we'll read them in context here. And 2 Corinthians 1:1 tells us that this is being written to believers, to the church at Corinth. So 2 Corinthians 11:1. I wish you would bear with me in a little foolishness. Do bear with me. For I feel a divine jealousy for you, since I betroth you to one husband, to present you as a pure virgin to Christ. But I am afraid that as the serpent deceived Eve by his cunning, your thoughts will be led astray from a sincere and pure devotion to Christ. So here we see Paul explaining that he wants the church at Corinth to be presented to Jesus like a pure virgin, or a bride would be a synonym for that. And so, some more evidence of the bride of Christ being the church is found in Ephesians chapter 5. When we start at verse 22, it states this: Wives, submit to your own husbands, as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself its Savior. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit in everything to their husbands. Verse 25, Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So we see this parallelism that Paul is showing here, that you have the husband and the wife and Christ and the church. Christ paralleling to the husband and the church paralleling the wife or bride. So there's some of the biblical evidence we see of the church being the bride of Christ. We hope this encourages you in your evangelism endeavors, and remember that God is always with you, and just remember to have the sword of the Spirit with you to refute the false doctrine and bring the truth to people, which will set them free. God bless.